Welcome back to Quantum Break, and now we're starting Act 5. Now that we're done with the TV show and the junctions, from now on it's nothing. From now on, it's nothing but Jack with in gameplay.
Why do I get a bad feeling about that title name? I'll come back for you. That implies repetition.
Oh, Jova, don't even get me started. Don't worry, we'll get to it on the finale, kind of. Yeah.
In the meantime, should I ever get bored, I've got this huge book of Simpsons episodes to read through, so...
Does it stop
doing that?
No, on your own, please. Thanks, Leaves.
So yeah, back to the...
I never said I'd read it. I never said I'd read it aloud.
Once again, to remind you, the fact that he's telling all of this to that woman, meaning, of course, there is no tension because there's no way he can die, so...
I mean,
it actually happens after the end of a game.
I mean, okay. The only way there could possibly be tension.
Oh, we have another set piece. Okay.
It's if it turns out that he loses in the end, and then all he can do is just retreat into the past, try and prevent this.
Wow,
future.
good transition game.
What the?
It's because okay, basically, Jova, you know how the PS3 versions, well, even the Blue Point remasters do it, but you know how the first 3 Uncharted games had pre-rendered cutscenes.
Are you telling me that they can't even be bothered to render an entire cutscene to the point where we hear stuff from that cutscene while a loading screen is going on?
No, having the voice acting.
Let me explain. Let me explain, Jova. See, basically, we're transitioning from a pre-rendered cutscene into actual in-game stuff. So much like the PS3 Uncharted games, it can have a bit of load times in between.
Yeah, but
the big difference is that Uncharted had that excuse because it was on the PS3, which is a console that was notorious for having a slow-ass Blu-ray drive. And this game, not to mention, this game is on the Xbox One. Couldn't it take the Uncharted 4 route and make all
Pedro,
cutscenes in game?
I understand that the problem was that during the loading screen, the audio was still clearly going on. Audio was clearly supposed to be in the cutscene.
Yeah.
Oh god, you just died.
They literally had the voice acting from the cutscene slip over into the loading screen.
Yeah,
how does that happen?
This game is a bit unpolished in terms of that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Look. For as much as I for as much as I and many people may make fun of it, the Xbox One is not necessarily weak hardware. I mean, come on, guys, you can do better than that.
Yeah. Like I was saying. I mean, I can understand this on the PS3, but shouldn't the Xbox One be capable of pulling an Uncharted 4 and have everything be in game? I mean, aside from the episodes, obviously.
So are we fighting Liam now?
No. That's all when we get. He's at the top.
He's in the room with the counter system.
So what's supposed to be so different about him from all these other guys wielding guns with time suits?
That's just actually, Jova. It's interesting you ask that because he has
a personality.
Even though he's supposed to. Yeah, right. Even though he's supposedly a boss battle, he's not. He's just as tough, or rather, just as weak as your General Mook with a time suit.
Well,
so you can kill him really easily.
Really?
Yes. I can see the excuse because he was heavily injured.
So they basically pulled a GTA 5 sort of quote-unquote boss.
Except in GTA 5, it was done on purpose for comedy's sake. In here,
exactly.
I mean, this is a game that takes itself completely and utterly seriously. So
there's barely any comedy in this.
Yes,
it is. We've been laughing.
Just
intentional. I mean, comedy.
Just to compare. Having bosses be practically just superpowered versions of mooks or practically the same as mooks was the complaint people had about Arkham Asylum back in the way old PS3/Xbox 360 era.
Not just that, Jova. Pretty much a lot of games between 2009 and 2012 had pretty much the same problem. I mean, they were kind of like similar shooters, similar to this, either third person.
Hey, guys, sorry, I have to interrupt you for a moment. Hey guys, you know what I could use right now while fighting this guy?
Don't tell me a grenade.
A cover system. Because if I could use the cover system, I would actually be hidden within the thing, so I could easily not get shot. But because there's no cover system, sometimes when I'm trying to move, he can hit me in the head because he will only crouch that much. There's no actual way to actually cover Uncharted style, or I'm guessing Gears of War style. I'm guessing that's how Gears of War.
So here's what I don't get, Pedro. You were crouching behind that counter, yet those stream of bullets, the streams they left, clearly looked like they were going for your head, and yet somehow they didn't damage you.
Like I said, Jova, that's because this game is incredibly forgiving. Granted, I'm playing on easy mode, but even easy mode Uncharted is less forgiving than this. I mean...
Wait, so some bullets won't even hit you, even though they clearly...
No, they hit me, Jova. It's just that this game is so forgiving that it barely matters. Unless you're taking, fire, unless you're, literally standing still in front of an enemy, you will never really get in danger in this game.
This is one of those games.
The biggest danger is the door.
To be fair, I'm playing it on easy mode, so maybe it's better like that on the harder difficulties. I don't know.
So you haven't tried yet.
No, I haven't tried the harder difficulties. And quite frankly...
You're not a real gamer, Pedro.
Yes.
You're not a real gamer.
Yeah,
You don't drink Mountain Dew while eating Doritos.
I'll play on the harder difficulties for extra challenge if the game is actually fun. Thank you.
Anyway.
Well, I agree.
Anyway, my main issue is also the fact that the way he was crouching behind it though, he wasn't even crouching that low.
Exactly. That's why couldn't this game have a fucking cover system?
And yet the bullet clearly passed up his head.
Have any of Sam Lake's other games had a cover system?
No, Max Payne encouraged a more rush, charging guns blazing, thanks to your bullet time special abilities.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're kind of gamed with.
Yeah, I think Glenn will actually like Alan Wake actually. Yeah.
And Alan Wake
and Max Payne.
Alan Wake was using more of a combination of your gun and the fact that enemies were weaker to your flashlight. So it was more of a question of stunning them and then shooting them. So both of them didn't really need a cover system to begin with.
Guys, question.
Go ahead,
yes.
Jova.
Why can't Jack just climb over those?
Remember Jova. Unlike again, I'm sorry I keep bringing this up, but it's the only one I'm familiar with. Unlike in Uncharted, where the climbing system is actually consistent, remember, he can only climb in the things that Sam Lake specifically designed he should be able to climb.
Again, this game is so situational.
Why can't we just break it?
Oh, yeah, even that too. One of the simplest solutions ever. It's glass, you break it with your pistol.
Yeah, that's just the thing. That's just the thing. You
could even use the excuse of, you don't have any more bullets because right next to you there was one of those bags that refills your ammo.
The Hulk PS2 game had better, and that was a PS2 game. Okay, basically.
You want to know what's even better? Even Jaws Unleashed on the PS2 had a better semblance of giving you choices, and that was with you being relegated to water.
Basically, the Hulk 2003 game, aka the one that's based on, technically not based, it's actually a spiritual sequel to the Ang Lee movie, and they actually did a good job in making most of the environment destructible for the sake of you being able to use the Hulk's abilities, and it was definitely, and that was a PS2 game. I mean,
I'll give the Transformers also give the Transformers 2007 PS2 game credit. That also gave you a very nice and destructible environment.
I love how they gave us a map. I love how they give us a map, even though the only direction you need to go is up.
a map now.
As fuck.
That map.
We have a map now.
That map right there, Jova. That one that I just passed for.
You mean
that typical map that you find in big hallways or convention places. What are we talking here?
Martin Hatch is talking to one of the mooks.
Yeah, I like how he's literally called Flunky, but yeah, this Flunky's surprised that he's alive.
Okay.
Well, remember, Joe, but this is an echo, so apparently this probably took place before he died.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about from the assassination attempt. He was alive at that point.
Yeah, for a second there, I thought that conversation was going to go something along the lines of this. I need you to do a job for me. Yes, sir. What do you want?
Headshot.
Okay, that actually looks cool. Why
the
can't
timing?
timing be that
Well,
fun?
the timing was perfect. I said right as the guy was shot.
I know, right? And wait. And just as he was getting shot, the secretary there is just drinking coffee or whatever.
Well,
out of a cup
remember,
like
time
it's
is being frozen.
But I'm pretty sure that those guys were just fine as well as the elevator lifter. So
Actually, no. Remember, they had those suits that allows them to walk in time frozen zones.
this is so confusing because again, time is constantly going in and out. So there's some points where time is just fine.
Like we established 2 parts ago, Joe. It's pointless to try to make sense of all of this because this plot is clearly unfinished.
Oh, great! More
My
text.
security protocols are shutterproofing has failed. Blah 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 blah. Comms are unreliable. Sounds like Skype. Suppress the.
I
to
don't
others.
care. Moving on.
Well, hey, at least you got a narrative object.
Getting to that time.
Is this the guy who developed No Man's Sky?
You mean Sean Murray?
Yeah, he looked like kind of like.
Oh,
him.
so this is the office of Hello Game.
So basically, LO Games was actually secretly a plan by Monarch to scam, to basically try to fool people into thinking they could actually go to space in a video game.
Procedural time.
Yeah. All right. So my time vision tells me I should go to the elevator. So let's go to the elevator.
All right, but shouldn't we be taking the stairs for a more quiet approach?
Question.
Shut up, logic.
What exactly does the time vision?
With anything.
Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah. What exactly does the time vision do again?
It's
Batman's
detective mode, basically.
Yeah. I get that. But what exactly does it help you search for? Or does it literally just help
basically
you see
it highlights every single good things in blue, every enemy in red, and it also has a marker that tells me where I'm supposed to go.
But isn't the marker there, or what is that thing to the right?
No, that's one of my time powers gauges.
Oh, why is just that one showing and not all the others?
Because we're in the middle of an area where I can't use it because this part is scripted, so it doesn't allow. There you go. Now I can use them.
Wow, really? They had to script.
Well, to be fair, that was a cutscene. I mean, it wasn't.
I love how that line that god said just there. It's like that bit in Monty Python. Yeah. Don't do this, you fuck yeah.
See, Pedro, the reason I have an issue with that is the fact that, again, older Arkham games have had
why were these agents, Monarch agents, already being shot? Are these the people that Liam hit?
Wait. Are we seeing another flashback with Mark?
Remember, Teo, before he died, Hatch apparently came up and killed Mr. Douche Nozzle, so maybe this is what he was doing in between the episode where we didn't see him. Maybe that's the whole point here. We're seeing it. We're seeing what he was doing during the episode when he wasn't on screen. That's my guess. That's my guess.
Well, it makes sense there was an elevator, although it's kind of a bad case of continuity because he left them in the elevator. Then again. But anyway, Pedro, the reason I had an issue with the fact that, they had to script a cutscene was because older Arkham games have done stuff like this, but catch is that you can actually still move around and do stuff with your gadgets during those cutscenes. In fact, sometimes you can even sort of change how they go in a way. So again, why is it that a game on the Xbox One can't even handle what's stuff on the PS?
Honestly, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to defend the game, but honestly, I'm pretty sure that wasn't a limitation. There was just an actual design choice. I mean,
fair enough.
Even if they did allow you to use your powers within that elevator scene, what exactly would it accomplish? Even there's nothing around to destroy. There's nowhere to go. So what exactly is the purpose of letting you do that? Exactly. I mean.
I guess I just kind of found it stupid that they had to do it, but then again, maybe it's just this game's
also remember, Joe, game developing 101, using elevator sequences or waiting for a door to be open are good excuse for developers to use them to load a level in the meantime.
Hey, it's a shame that they didn't use that elevator scene to develop anything, but I get your point. I mean, I guess it's just a case of the game's stupidity getting to me.
You'd be surprised how many games are really can deceive you with loading times. One example I can think
I agree, yeah.
Is, Mario Galaxy, when you're going from planet to planet, that's essentially the game's loading time.
Yeah.
loading screen.
Oh, that's how a clever development team hides their load times.
Yeah.
I think Jack and
that
Daxter.
Tony Hawk,
Or even
That
in
Tony
stuff
Hawk-
like Dark. Oh, so go ahead, Dweebs.
that Tony Hawk's game, American Wasteland, did something like that, where they basically they hide the loading screens by having you skating through these small tunnels.
Great Mook AI, right?
You skate through these small tunnels, and you can jump around and do stuff there while.
There you go, Jova. As you can see, I was clearly standing, and there was a clear shot. And as you can see, I didn't even get in danger. If it was, the screen. It takes quite a while for the screen to start going
These
black
guys
and
are
white.
stormtroopers.
Okay. I'm going to retract my complaint about the elevator scene, but I will bring back my complaint about how stupid the AI in this game is. I mean, seriously, even on easy mode, when you're near to the final levels, this is when the game at least gives you a sense of increased challenge.
Oh,
And
great!
yet,
Two
it's
ghost type
just as
enemies
easy as ever.
at the same time. Let me guess, Pedro.
There you go, Jova. There's your challenge.
Where this concept of challenge is throwing all this shit at the same time.
Well, to be fair, after these two, things get fine. From what I remember, this is probably the hardest part of this level.
Seriously.
From what I remember.
But yeah, Dweebs, also going back to
Like I said, Jova. For all we know, the hard mode is actually really hard. For all we know.
Also, somehow potted plants are able to block missiles without showing any batted damage on them whatsoever.
Taste petals, bitch.
Okay, look, I could maybe have let this go with the cars, but office supplies is able to shield you from a missile without showing any damage.
But you see, Jova, don't you see, Jova? These are awesome plants. It's amazing how plants are able to resist technology. You know, this is a clever commentary on nature versus technology.
Yes.
Also, here's a question: if time is freezing, and so why is it that some stuff falls fast, but other stuff falls slowly?
Because gravity decides whatever the fuck to do.
Because the physics engine in this game is kind of spotty, as we've seen before.
Seriously, you have a game that should give you excuses, and yet even still you manage to go outside those excuses. And even seriously though, if you cannot manage to make it so that your area shows damage in places like this, which are clearly made for boss battles, then something is wrong with you.
So yeah, same procedure. We have to shoot him in the back to destroy their time-generating suit. Go ahead.
Also, are those glasses bulletproof? Because, the missile didn't even shatter them.
Well, Joe, but to be fair, Joe, how many games do you know where every single thing in the environment is destructible? Every single little thing. I mean, that's incredibly hard to code. I mean, quite honestly, this game doesn't really need something like that. Honestly, if you ask me.
Okay, I get that. It's just like, well, this feels like a room made specifically for being destroyed. And okay, I'll let the window thing go, but the fact that none of the room shows any burn marks, any bout of destruction, just, overturned swivel chairs here and there, which seem to actually get back in place later on, so what the heck's going on with that?
Well, technically speaking, the chairs are completely affected by the time freeze, so I suppose that any damage they can take cannot be seen through the time freeze, and it only applies to objects and people that are not affected by it.
Oh, I get that, but notice how some chairs that we clearly did knock off are now back exactly where they were before? What's up with that?
Okay, this game shares...
Sometimes the game does that. Remember, there's also the sequence at the start of this level with the train going up and down and all around.
Oh, I can get, reloading how a room looks when maybe you leave it for a while but then re-enter it. But no, we've clearly been in this room, and look, those are chairs and stuff that were clearly overturned before but are now back to normal without exiting.
A lot of games do that. It's called respawning objects that have been de-downloaded once you progress through the level.
Okay, not really.
I'll just explain where I'm coming from. Normally, I wouldn't be too hard on a game, but the fact that, again, when they were hyping this game up, they were building it up to be, this cool, immersive, and interactable world, and And again, it's on the Xbox One, which should be able to handle stuff like that. The reason it's so hard is because they hyped this game up so much to be all that.
I mean, the only thing that, granted, maybe I missed something, but the only thing the marketing promised was, a story-based shooter with time-traveling powers, and that was basically it.
I'm talking about some of the later advertisements, when they were showing all the cool time power stuff, and now it totally affects everything, like time power should.
Well, Jova, if there's anything the game has shown plenty of times is that its time powers, that
Also,
it actually
Nissan.
marketed, it was false marketing that led to only situational.
Guys, look, Nissan.
Basically, so like Jova is heavily implying, this game shares one of the biggest problems with that Beyond Two Souls also has. Its universe is very, very loosely, never feels real because it's very loosely defined. The game never really takes time to actually, do some world building, explain to us how all of these little things work. So basically, my guess is they do it just for the sake so that they can just do whatever. Since they never establish any rules, they can just do whatever. That's probably their logic.
So would you say that this gameplay mechanic is a good idea but terribly executed?
Absolutely. In fact, there's in a lot of cases we've seen in short bursts that the gameplay actually does have some good cases of execution. The problem is that they're so sparsely used. For example, Deji, there was actually...
Oh, look, guys! The screenplay! About my screenplay in the video. That's right, the guy apparently sent his screenplay to Sophia. He sent his screenplay to Sophia.
They really created an entire subplot based on his fucking screenplay.
Yes!
Wow.
I just...
Why do I get the feeling more of the effort went into these than the actual story? Anyway, Deji, basically...
Wait, Trevor, I got it. The screenplay was actually what the developers wanted to do, but Microsoft decided, nah, do a time travel story, so they put the screenplay in here.
Why would they?
And guess what? And look at that.
Oh my god!
What the hell was that?
Back to the Future.
That was it.
Yeah.
You were saying, Jova?
Basically, there was a cool puzzle platforming section which actually made good use of the time traveling powers to help you do some platforming skills. Yes, believe it or not, there's actually platforming in this game. Don't blink or you may miss it. Also, there's other great parts where you have to use your time travel powers to solve other puzzles and also get character development by seeing past versions or future versions, stuff that's about to happen, stuff that has happened. The problem is that for some reason, they don't use those methods, which would make the game more fun that often. Instead,
they rely on text, long walls of text.
Oh, they brought the original time machine, the one that gave Jack and Paul superpowers here.
I guess Paul was doing nostalgia.
No. The same thing that gave Jack his superpowers also gave Paul his superpowers, aka the explosion in the lab.
Yeah, but it says that it was Paul's machine, and they brought that here apparently.
Oh, that. Yes.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm not making excuses. I know I fucked up.
You don't go.
Not just the walls of text. There's also a lot of audio logs that I'm not showing because, trust me, those audio logs are so sleep-inducingly boring that I figured, you know what, fuck it. I'm not even gonna show this. Who cares?
They screwed up a simple concept like audio logs that I've yet to see a game make boring.
Well, granted, I'm not the most experience I have with audio logs is the cassette tapes on Phantom Pain, and those are awesome, so I'm fine with it.
It depends on different factors, Pedro. Mostly the direction of
the
voice actors.
This is one of the most confusing scenes in the entire game. So we're here, and guess what? They're apparently implying that something came here and destroyed all. And he's gonna say even, what the hell happened here?
So this is like that scene in Metal Gear Solid before the introduction of a ninja.
What? Yeah.
Wait, who's that?
And now we see that thing, and then it leaves.
Wait, oh my god.
And guess what, guys? We never find out what that was. I am not even kidding. They bothered to create a cutscene establishing something, only to drop it immediately after.
Is it maybe established in an alternate playthrough?
Maybe, I guess, but at the same time, then why did I even see that cutscene?
Okay,
So
you
you're
know,
telling me there was someone or something with time travel powers, clearly, that teared these guards, and when noticed Jack just disappeared.
Oh, I
That
think I
scene,
get it.
that scene right there, to me, is my most convincing piece of evidence that this game clearly had a lot of story cut out of it.
Or
Oh.
they were just very, very desperate to do sequel baiting.
I
And
think
this
I
was
know
just
what that.
foreshadowing.
I think I know what that thing was, though. Remember how Martin Hatch was talking to, I guess, whatever the doctor
Oh,
had
that.
turned into?
Well, but that's the
that
thing, Joe.
experiment?
I see where you're going with that, Joe. But honestly, we never get told anything about that subplot. So
Was this game rushed?
I'm
Deji.
starting to
I
think
don't
so.
know.
I'm honestly starting to
well-
think so because
Well,
this plot just reeks of
remember,
unfinished.
Remember, Microsoft wanted absolutely to be a launch title for the Xbox One, even though it actually came a bit after its launch.
3
Yeah,
years.
which is
Yeah.
weird, because, like, I mean, with all the time they've had to do this game, you'd think that would...
In the which is oh god, this wall text, which makes me really worry about the supposed remake of Phantom Dust.
To quote Angry Joe,
Because-
this is not immersive. This is not interesting. Look at how many walls of text are here.
You know...
Oh,
Commander Awag, is she a character we've met before?
Yeah, she's the one interviewing us. She's the one Jack is telling the story to.
Oh, well, gee, now we really are spoiled on who's gonna live or die, then.
All right.
Unless
Wait,
it's a time paradox.
Hey, guys,
Is it
hey,
called
guys,
a
hey,
time
guys.
Paradox in which he does die.
Hey guys,
Maybe.
hey guys. Spoilers.
Yes?
Spoilers. Jack will survive this because
No.
I'm sure you never figure. I know this is shocking, but he will.
You know,
surely you jest.
I'm gonna have to agree with what Mysterious Mr. Enter said.
No.
Prologues more often than...
Let's leave.
I'm just-
Let's leave that topic for another time. Let's just let Jova go on. Go ahead, Jova.
Basically, though, that more often than not, prologues tend to really be more of a detriment, especially they're prologues that take place, go in the middle of the story and blatantly spoil who's gonna live or die up to that point.
Well, okay, Java. In narrative, that type of narrative of telling the whole prologue thing, it actually has a name. It's called in medias res. It's actually Latin, but you're kind of right in a sense that it can be screwed up very easily, kind of like a time travel story, pretty much. You have to be very careful if you want to start a story like that.
Yeah, that's
So,
why I
Like
don't like
it's a classic story that begins with
Wait,
a funeral, and then you
oh
hear
my
the voice in the
God.
background and
Oh,
says,
okay.
"You see that guy? That's
Oh
me."
my god, isn't this the start of the game when
Yes.
he's walking into that place?
Yes, Paul. Yes, Paul is still looking for Will's time machine.
So let me get this straight. The
We've
start of the
accomplished-
game literally is also at the end.
Good one. Well, not so much. Actually,
Well,
no. Okay. Basically, let me tell you right now. The final boss battle will take place at the big room where Will's time machine is. You know the one, right?
No, this is the timeline that he made.
Yeah.
So, is this trying to be...
Okay, is one of the characters' names in this game Jack?
The
Yes.
protagonist was.
Oh yeah. So I can make a reference to this is the house that Jack built, but
So yeah, everybody, look forward to the sequel in 2021.
That's
it's
a bit
definitely
late.
we swear.
Exclusive for Project Scorpio. Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Right, so why are we looking
Meh.
at 2022?
That's.
I guess
that's
The
one.
sequel, it got delayed.
Yeah.
So,
what year is it?
here's my question.
2222.
Okay. To make a biblical comparison, when it came to Noah's Ark...
Oh God, more text.
Okay. Just to compare this,
Jesus
when it came to Noah's Ark, it came about that, all life except for a few would be wiped out, so of course there'd be some people left over to start over. But here, okay. So if time is supposed to break everything, wouldn't that imply that there won't even be an Earth or anything to save afterwards?
Pretty much. Space has a different meaning of the plane of existence than time.
So,
This
how the
concept
heck is
sounds
this
so
supposed to work?
weird.
How is any of this supposed to work?
I mean,
if
no,
time is
but
supposedly gonna...
that's the thing, Jova. A countermeasure to this, building the supposed utopia for humanity to survive in kind of like inside of a time bubble, to survive a time crisis and everything, should be the size of, let's say, a mall, or a giant resort room. But in the episode, we clearly show that it's barely like an average building big.
Scooping the size of a mall, they would need something about the size of at least a country if they want to be able to have natural reproduction for resources.
Or at least a city, kind of like in Final Fantasy The Spirits Within, but I'm digressing.
So, again, how is any of this supposed to work? And Paul can't pull the whole, this cancer thing is messing with my mind, because he came up with this plan well before that point.
Apparently they didn't have enough budget for that.
Yeah.
Anyway...
See you for the next part, everybody, where we fight Liam.
Yay.
So see you then.